Is my love too much? Is it just enough for you? For you? 'Cause it's getting late. Would you like to stay? Nah. 'Cause I'm bad at reading signs, but I wanna do whatever you wanna do. If you wanted to, girl, we could cross that line. No, we've been friends enough only now.
Grand Rising. How's everybody feeling? Everybody get a good amount of sleep last night? Awesome. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to every single one of you. How many of you guys did some critical thinking last night? I know I did. Ooh, wow. Anybody out there did? Okay, awesome. Well, I just want to make sure to be very, very clear and transparent with you guys, obviously, is we don't want these, what we realized yesterday is there's a lot of people that aren't in the academy, and this happened last time. So we want to make sure that you understand what your resources are. We don't want to be a conference where at the back of the table, if you sign up, it's not that type of conference. We want to make sure you know the resources you have available to you.
It's okay. All right, can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, those were super, super kind words, and I really, really appreciate them, and I love CJV. We've been doing this for a very long time, especially with Gonzo, so I was coming back here to fix some things. So this is a tribe building conference, this is a community building conference. And so today I'm going to talk to you about community. I need to make sure this is tight so I can run around the stage and jump off the stage and do some dives into the audience maybe. A lot of people have come up here and told their story. Billy came up here and told some shit that happened in his life that brought him to this stage. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Throughout the presentation, I'm going to tell you 3 things that I had to do that if I didn't do any of those 3 things, I wouldn't be standing here right now. Now you can think that that's destiny. I go back and forth on whether or not I believe things happen for a reason. But what I do know is that if I didn't do these 3 things, if not one of these 3 things happened, I would not be here. Okay? Every single one of you that are out there right now, you all have a story. You may think that you don't, but all of you have probably gone through some fucked up shit in your life. Everybody has shit in their life. And when you look at that shit and you deal with that shit, a narrative is created. And with that narrative, each and every one of you can build a community. And it's the main thing that I believe in my life. Like CJV said yesterday, if you have $100,000 in bills and you make $1 million, you're just gonna have a fucking $1 million in bills. It's not gonna change anything. So my mind was just constantly chasing cash. And I thought that if I could make a movie script, if I could make a really good song, and I've made a few albums, I've had a few songs on the radio in the early 2000s, I had some good places to play it. I did pretty good. I love making music. I'm a horrible singer, but I am a really good songwriter if I have the right pieces around me, right? Okay. So I dropped out and educated myself, but that didn't last. I got really into drinking, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I became an alcoholic. That led me to do some stupid shit. I ended up having to leave Arizona for a while for things that I'm not gonna say. And so I lived in Flagstaff for about 2 years. And then finally I was like, man, I gotta do something with my life. What is the only thing that I'm really good at besides music? Because music, at the time, I didn't think I could make money playing music. And so, I could make money at it, but it couldn't be the wealth that I wanted. All right, so I don't know what that looks like online, but it's probably weird and crazy. Okay, so you have to create movement. And so a narrative, so a movement is a narrative, right? A narrative, we always say that word. It's a narrative that tells a story about who we are and the future of what we're trying to build. So every time you hear one of my TikToks, probably don't follow me on TikTok because I don't have as many followers as CJV. You probably follow CJV on TikTok, but every time you hear something from CJV on TikTok, it's telling the story of the truth that he is experiencing and he's sharing that out. Like I like mudras a lot, okay? And if you don't know what a mudra, they're like hand symbols. So we got one like this, we got some like this, we got some like this, and people would think that that's magic. But essentially, Naruto, he was doing the anime Naruto, if you've ever seen that, because that's how he got all his powers. But they're real things that that exist that do certain things into the world when you do them. And those are like an esoteric practice. But this is a tribe that I'm a part of, and they congregate inside of a temple. And the church analogy works for virtues. So karma, it's all this, you do bad shit, right? Bad shit happens. It may not be tit for tat, but karma exists, okay? Get rewarded, like something bad happens, you do something bad, eventually something bad will happen, and that goes karmic cycles over. And then virtues, there's a virtue of giving. So I knew if I gave, I would become more virtuous, that's great. But I would also get rid of all that karmic debt and all the bad stuff that I did. Okay? So when I got really good at understanding my disability, borderline personality disorder, and really got into Buddhism, I decided that I was just going to serve. So when anybody asks me to help them, I'm just going to say yes, if I can do it. Okay? Because my value that I get out of it, I didn't know CJV was going to get, well, I knew it a little bit because I said, hey, I'll help you with this for 8% of your business. But then but so they kept giving and giving because I kept giving and giving. And what's magical about communities is Brenda gave, Abs gave, Mario gave, Heidi gave, May gave, Tom gave, Tom's wife Rebecca, who couldn't be here today, gave, CJV's mom gave, Miro gave, Billy gave, Darren and Dustin gave and helped Billy, and what happened? Now they run a business with them. And so, can you go back to the slide? I have to do it again. You gotta see the cool tree they built. Oh yeah! Because when you serve, all of this happens. You build community, you build networks, you build communication, you build businesses after business. We don't own all of these, but this is from each and every one of these people serving, each and every one of you serving within the community, and your network becomes your net worth, right? And you help, and then that person gives, and then they give, and we're all interconnected.